What's going on, everybody? My name is Bendy, and this is the Disney Heroes Franchise Tournament. So, today we have a winner in the franchise tournament, and it is, drumroll please, Kim Possible.
We're alive! We made it!
Thanks for everything. You're the
worst one in this franchise and are carried by the rest of us. You need to step up your fucking game, Kim Possible.
best.
Sure. Don't mention it.
No surprise to anybody. I think everybody kind of knew that Kim Possible was going to win from the day one. They're just by far the best franchise in the game. They have 3 heroes that are in the top tier, one of which is Shigo, who is in the unfair tier on my tier list. So, I mean, Kim Possible with 3 heroes in the top tier of my tier list just clearly outshines everybody else. I think Muppets themselves have 2 that are in the top tier, although Swedish Chef just got demoted, so now they only have 1. Hercules has 2 also, with Zeus being in the unfair tier, as well as Megara being up there. Today, I just wanted to kind of go through the tournament, my thoughts, give some of the points that kind of stood out to me, and then I'm going to give you guys the opportunity in the comments to leave your thoughts on anything in this tournament down below. Anything that surprised you, anything that shocked you. Those are the same words. Why am I saying the same words? Any upsets that you thought, anybody you thought would do better than they did, anybody you thought did better than you thought they would. Throw those down in the comments down below. I just want to hear your thoughts on the tournament. I just like reading your comments, guys. Just leave comments. That's all I want. Kim Possible, she just breezed her way through this entire tournament. She didn't lose by anything less than 72% for the entire tournament, including the final round. Kim Possible just fucking destroyed everybody in her path, pretty much. So that's pretty much how that happened. The one big surprise to me is I thought there would be a lot more close matches than there were. There was only 2 that wound up being within a couple percentage points of each other. Those being Little Mermaid over here, 52 to 48. That was the closest match of the entire tournament. I was super excited watching that one. I thought Treasure Planet was going to pull it out at the end. But actually, if you look back at the results after I put the results in the bracket, you can see that Little Mermaid actually wound up increasing their lead, 59 to 41. So I guess Little Mermaid had it all along after 117 votes, but we only had, I think, like 80 or so at the time, which is possibly one kind of issue with maybe doing this one-day thing. It seemed like it might not have been enough time for people to vote, either because the YouTube algorithm didn't send it out to people, or people just weren't paying too much attention in that one day to be able to put their votes in. Obviously, those of you that were there every single day at around 5 o'clock when it reset, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys that participated every single day. But yeah, it seemed like there was a lot more votes that came in after the results were already in the bracket, so obviously their votes wouldn't have counted. So maybe we can come up with a better way of doing this that gets more people involved if we ever do this again. Maybe you guys can throw your thoughts on that down below. But this was just my first attempt at doing this type of thing, so I had a lot of fun doing this though. This was something different, and it actually allowed me to keep making content even though I wasn't really able to make videos or anything like that. So I feel like it kind of kept the channel kind of going for about a month, which is good. I needed that, honestly. Otherwise, the channel would have been just totally dead for like a month or so. But anyways, enough of that. I'm not going to rant on that. Let's get back into the tournament. Yeah, Little Mermaid was the closest match of the entire game, and then both the second closest and also the biggest upset, in my opinion, was Tron versus Jungle Book. I was honestly very surprised that Tron won in round 1 against Jungle Book. I thought for sure that Jungle Book was going to move on to at least the second round. I don't know if they could have beaten Toy Story. They probably could have beaten Toy Story, honestly. I really thought that Jungle Book had Tron easily, because Tron just has Tron. That's it. Kevin Flynn and Korra, they both suck. I don't know, I guess Tron just carried that. Jungle Book, they have Bagheera, and they have Louie, and they have Who else do they have? Who else do they have? I can't remember off the top of my head. I am dumb. They got Ka, King Louis, Bagheera, Ka. Those are at least decent heroes. Tron literally just has Tron, Kevin, Glenn, and Korra. Kevin, Glenn, and Korra suck. Tron is top tier. Probably the best support in the game, but that was definitely the biggest upset to me. I was very surprised by that result. Some other franchises that kind of surprised me as far as just how good they did. Obviously, you have Darkwing Duck, who made the top 4, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think they would make it that far, honestly. Although, based on their matchups, I can see why they won. This could also kind of just be on me. I was trying to make the whole tournament as a whole pretty even so that it was exciting throughout the entire thing. Obviously, I wasn't going to pin like Kim Possible versus Muppets in round 1 right off the bat. I wanted to give Kim Possible like something that could be like the 32 seed, you know what I mean? So Kim Possible was basically like the 1 seed of the tournament versus like a 32 seed in DuckTales. That was kind of the idea in my mind. Same thing with Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck was probably like the 5 seed or something like that. And I just wanted to put them against somebody who was like the 31 seed or something like that. So I was trying to line up the first round how an actual basketball tournament March Madness thing would go. Where was I going with this? I don't know. But anyways, I was kind of surprised that Darkwing Duck made it as far as they did. Also, I kind of thought Inside Out was going to beat Darkwing Duck. But I guess Darkwing Duck himself is just really that good, which he is, honestly. Inside Out kind of has everybody in like the mid-top level. They have Fear, Disgust, and Sadness all in the really good tier of my tier list, and Joy also. So they have 4 heroes that are in really good, so I think they're probably like the most balanced of all the franchises in Disney Heroes, but I guess it just wasn't quite enough to eke out Darkwing Duck in the final 8 round. That also sort of kind of surprised me, but that was a pretty close match though. That was one of the more exciting final round matches of the entire tournament, which was pretty cool. The other one that really surprised me was Big Hero 6. I was pretty surprised that Big Hero 6 made it to the 3rd round. Obviously, they didn't stand a chance against Kim Possible, but I feel like had I put them somewhere else in the bracket, they probably could have made the top 4, just purely based on the fact that they wouldn't have had to face Kim Possible in the round, in this 3rd round here. I feel like they would have had a better shot at it if they had faced anybody else in the tournament. Maybe not against Hercules. They probably would have been decently close against Muppets, honestly. Emperor's New Groove is another one that kind of surprised me because they literally just have Pacha. Pacha just carried them to the 3rd round as well. That was another surprising thing. The biggest blowouts of this entire tournament. We have to look no further than Hercules versus Atlantis. Hercules just put the beat down on Atlantis, with Atlantis only receiving 12% of votes. And I guarantee those Atlantis votes were kind of just troll votes, so I bet you this would have been even higher if everybody kind of voted more seriously. I have a feeling there's at least a few troll votes in some of these votes, where somebody was voting for the worst franchise in every single round, I bet. But anyways, Hercules versus Atlantis was the biggest blowout of the entire tournament. The next one was Kim Possible versus DuckTales in round 1, followed by Kim Possible versus Little Mermaid right after that, which Kim Possible just putting down the beatdown on everybody in her path. So that was that. And then the other one that was kind of surprising was Toy Story versus Tangled. Toy Story just completely owned Tangled, which, yeah, Tangled doesn't really have too much going for it. They have Maximus, who has been falling off for months now. If we had done this tournament probably like a year ago, I bet you Tangled would have done way better in this tournament. In fact, there was probably a lot of franchises that would have done way better in this tournament had this been done like a year ago. I bet you Muppets had a shot to win. They were one of the most dominant franchises for quite a while. Same with Inside Out. Inside Out probably had a shot to win would this have been done like a year or so ago, when Disgust, Fear, and Sadness were all just completely wrecking everybody in the meta. But right now, Kim Possible is that franchise, so they just kind of won super easily. We'll have to, maybe we can do this next year as well, if Disney Heroes is even still around in a year. I'd be curious to see in a year's time how different this whole franchise tournament would be. I'd probably have to change the format a little bit, or change like the selection process for the original 32, because there's going to probably be more franchises than 32 that have 3 heroes or more in them. So I might have to make it like 4 heroes or more or something like that. Maybe even 5, I don't know. There's going to be a lot more heroes in a year's time if Purplue keeps coming out with new heroes every single month like they have. I don't know how long the game's going to be supported for. I guess we'll find out. I do know Purplue is working on a new game right now. I don't know how far along that is in development, but I have a feeling after that game comes out, Disney Heroes is probably not going to be supported too much longer, or at least not fully supported like with new heroes or consistent new heroes like they have been doing for the last 4 years. Anyways, I think that's about all I had for you guys. Let me know down below your thoughts on the whole tournament down below. Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to put on. Unfortunately, I couldn't vote on any of them because I made the polls, so I can't vote on my own polls. But it did go kind of how I expected for the most part, aside from a few things here and there. Again, I was surprised by how many blowouts there were. I suppose 66 or so isn't really a blowout, but it's definitely not as close as I expected a lot of these matches to be. And yeah, are you surprised that Muppets versus Hercules, that Hercules didn't win? That was the other thing. I think I forgot to mention that, but that was one other thing that kind of surprised me. I thought Hercules for sure was going to win, or at least it was going to be like one of those like 51% to 49% matchups. And it was going to be just neck and neck the entire time. But no, Muppets won pretty easily, actually, against Hercules. And yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to get out of here. So, peace.
3, 4, 5. Fuck them all. How did Pooh go down?
何お前は